Weekend, Dave Matey's WWE and Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer here, Bushwhacker Luke. And you are watching Countdown City WrestleCast. Yay!
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to a crazy, technologically challenged episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me live on the video part of it is Mike.
What's up, guys? It's Big Mike, and the train's going down the tracks here in 2023. How many more technical difficulties could there be?
And Tommy will be here. Hopefully he keeps trying, and if he's able to join and we get a video feed, he'll be able to jump in with us. In the meantime, he's live on the chat. I think he's going to be chatting through the YouTube feed, so he's got his comments in there already. Tommy, if you're able to get in, let's get you in there. But it is WrestleMania weekend, guys, and you know the pandemic, the sign the pandemic really is officially over. It's when there's a lot going on WrestleMania weekend. It feels like it's been forever since we've had this kind of thing going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's just tons of stuff. Like my phone was, there's things just going on in the middle of the day on Thursday and all kinds of stuff. So let's get into it.
Yeah, we're going to spend a little time talking some of the wrestling news, and much of that is going to be related to Impact Sacrifice and the situation Impact around the world titles. We're going to talk about Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. Hopefully Tommy's technical difficulties get in because he's our Ring of Honor expert. We're going to talk...
Hey.
What?
Claudio's the champ. I automatically become...
Okay, that's true. That's true. Now that it is AEW, we got a Ring of Honor expert is here as well, right?
Claudio.
We're going to talk about NXT Stand Deliver, and then we're going to talk about both nights of WrestleMania 39. So lots
all
of
before it starts, I swear.
Yes. Right? Now, before we get to that, Mike, you were at RCW Mania this past weekend.
No, I
You were not. You were not able to. Oh, that's right. You couldn't make it. Had a family emergency. Tommy was. Yeah, you had a family emergency. I apologize.
Definitely stuff come up, which I won't get into. But yeah, I was not. So if Tommy can't join us, I say we give him time next week.
For sure.
Because clearly everything we got going on this weekend is packed. And as you know, I love the local shows. You know, I'm waiting for Mission Pro, but that's still a month away. You know, if you want to throw out the graphic, that's cool. But I say we get in to the weekend, especially because Tommy's not on the video to get into detail about it. So,
for sure. I'll briefly just mention Impact Sacrifice. I did get to see it, but from the pick results we had, Tommy and I both went 6-2, and Mike went 7-1. And the one you missed was that 6-man tag where Josh Alexander, I believe, got replaced
by Steve Macklin.
And this kind of relates into a bit of our wrestling news. Tommy says he was at RCW. It was a great show. Oh, there we go. Put a wishy return to face Mike Bailey. So,
not at RCW Mania, by the way.
Yes,
that was tonight.
Yeah, that was tonight.
Bloodsport, I think.
But something worth talking about, though, as relates to wrestling news here. As we were talking about Sacrifice last week, Mickie James announced an injury, and they were going to address that situation at Sacrifice. And then, lo and behold, the very next morning after we had our show, they announced that Josh Alexander was going to be taking time away from wrestling. He later posted a message about this related to spending time with family, bit of a mental health thing. In the meantime, what does that mean? Well, it basically means that Vacant is now a dual champion in Impact Wrestling, holds the Impact World Championship and the Knockouts World Championship.
Is there nothing more progressive than that at the moment? I mean, you know what? Let's not be bound by the gender and stuff. Like, he's got both titles, or I assume that's what we refer to him as.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, like that's 2023, man. Let's do it.
Sure is. So how does the world title situation work with Impact? Well, Tonight was Multiverse United, and there was a four-way match related to that, and I can't. I don't have it in front of me. See if Tommy's able to join. We got a video feed. There he is.
Hey, guess who's back?
Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you
Okay, a little
hear
delay,
me?
but that's okay. We'll make it work. That's fine. Yes, it'll catch up. But we got video. We're good. We're working with it. So,
Wait, he already
yeah,
froze.
that's okay. He still looks pretty cool. Oh, there he goes.
Okay.
It's just choppy. It's choppy.
Okay.
You're good. All right. Okay. While he's working that out. So, how does the world title situation look right now with the knockout side of things on Impact? Well, Jordan Grace is already set to challenge for that title at Rebellion. Deanna Purrazzo, Giselle Shaw, Masha Slamovich, and Miyu Yamashita were wrestling tonight at Multiverse United. The winner of that is added to that Knockouts World Championship match at Rebellion, which is now just Jordan Grace versus the winner of that match. That is going on as we speak. Still waiting to see the result of that. In the meantime, on the Impact World Championship side of things, Steve Maclin took Josh Alexander's place at Sacrifice, and now he and Kushida will be battling it out at Rebellion to crown a new Impact World Championship that is currently held by Vacant. So that is the situation as it stands right now. Both of the top titles in Impact are currently held by Vacant. In addition to that, at Rebellion, they did announce you're going to have Team Bully versus Team Dreamer, 5-on-5 hardcore war at Rebellion. So that seems to become a tradition when he's doing to get some old ECW guys together. So.
Tommy heard Bully Ray was involved, and he dropped out.
He bailed, yes.
Oh wait, that's me. Never mind.
So yeah, I know, Mike, you're still waiting to see the result of Jeff Cobb versus Moose, which is taking place tonight. So have you checked on it to see how the result was
I
or
have
anything?
not.
Yeah.
I knew we were going to be busy with this,
Yeah.
but he had a hell of a match on Wednesday. And the only thing that didn't completely make me upset about having to lose to Kenny Omega again, he always has to lose to the Okadas and the Omegas, but that's okay. Blackpool Combat Cup finally reunited at full strength. And they're going to be a menace from AEW, and that'll be fun to talk about in the coming weeks.
Yeah. Jason, what's up? Yamashita Wrestling Machine Wrestling 3 matches tonight, 3 different companies. That is only possible through cloning, I guess. I don't know.
And that's what's also so cool about this week. Like, it's not just like there's a Thursday night show. There's like a Thursday afternoon show. There's a Thursday mid-afternoon show. There's like 3 shows Thursday evening at different places. Same thing will go on tomorrow. Like,
yeah.
Like, I can't imagine being in LA right now. Like, if I was a millionaire, I'd be at everything I could be at. And it would be fantastic.
Well, even if you weren't a millionaire, if you were Tommy, you would be definitely getting into ROH Supercard of Honor, possibly for free, because that is taking place tomorrow night, actually. So,
oh, he's still listening. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
but it's Cobb. I'm just saying, it'd be cool if he could beat one of the big guys. That's all.
Well, I'll wait till we get his comment about what I just said about him getting into ROH shows for free.
He knows
yeah, he knows for sure. So Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor is taking place tomorrow night at the Galen Center. I'm going to go ahead and just put the graphic up right here while I have it up, which I find it. There we go. So what is happening on that match? So at that show, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Daniel Garcia.
That got added.
Yep.
Or last night, I think, but.
Let's see. A, quote, reach for the sky ladder match for the vacant ROH World Tag Team Championship. There's Tommy. And that one is the Lucha Brothers versus Top Flight versus the Kingdom versus Aussie Open versus La Facción Ingobernable. Winner of that ladder match will be the new ROH World Tag Team Championship, which, of course, was vacated after the passing of Jay Briscoe.
Just to add a little bit into that, because apparently Tony Khan had like a media call today earlier. The design that they had been using for the tag team titles has been retired. The design in honor of the Briscoes, and they will be designing new belts for this. So not that the belts are officially retired, but that specific design, from what I understand, will be retired in honor of the Briscoes, and they will design new titles. And continue the lineage, but with a new look for this ladder match tomorrow night. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is
And I
really
think
cool
Tommy would
news.
love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
See if Tommy's working here. We see him in there in the background if you haven't seen him already. So
On my screen, the Supercard of Honor thing is still up, even though I see us. Is that normal?
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I have it up there right
Okay.
there. Yeah,
Cool. There
let
we
me get
go.
the graphic back here. Sorry. Uh, Tommy, let us know if you can hear us. I know he's still a little choppy, but that's all right. What else is going on with Supercard of Honor that I haven't mentioned already? You're gonna
Other
get
stuff.
the AAA Mega Championship El Hijo de Vikingo versus Commander. You have the ROH six-man tag team championship, the Embassy defending against AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik. And then the big ones here. ROH Pure Wrestling Championship, Wheeler Yuta defending against Katsuyori Shibata.
Ooh,
The TV title is Samoa Joe defending against Mark Briscoe.
that
The
should be fun.
Women's World Championship, Athena defending against Yuka Sakazaki. And, of course, for the ROH World Championship, Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston.
So I wish Tommy was here to talk about that history because he knows it
Yeah.
about as well as anyone. But they also shared a video. If you go to probably either Claudio or Kingston's or ROH's social media, they put a little video together kind of highlighting the history of those two. Um, Kingston for a long time has said he doesn't like him, doesn't respect him. People never really knew was it a shoot, was it a work, was it a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Still don't know, to be honest, but it doesn't matter because they're going to have the match, and they're going to beat the crap out of each other. Claudio's gone full heel mode with Blackpool Combat Club, and what's kind of cool as opposed to his WWE run is the guys in AEW, and this is just in general, they don't have the Braun Strowmans, the Brock Lesnar's, the Roman Reigns size guys. Mostly, I mean,
Yeah.
there's Wardlow and some of those, but they're not really haven't been a lot of matches with Claudio. So Claudio with a lot of these regular AEW indie guys looks like a beast throwing them around. He did that to the boys this past Wednesday. I don't know if you saw that. So just like he always does, gets given something, runs with it. Yeah. So this should be a
Love
hell
it.
of a match. And Kingston, he's just going to fight and brawl. So
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see that. It's according to Tommy, the Claudio Shikara thing goes back to Shikara, and I think it's legit,
Yeah.
he says. Yeah.
there's always truth in all the things that happen. So
There's never been a more appropriate song lyric here by Bernsey heading into WrestleMania weekend, too. So.
yeah.
Now, Jason mentions that the ROH World Titles and Pure Titles have been shown on the show. Yeah, interesting to see. I'm sure they're going to debut what the new design for the tag team titles will be during that ladder match tomorrow night. So that is a little quick brief primer for Supercard of Honor. It is tomorrow night. Bell time will be 6 p.m. Central Time through the Ring of Honor website. I want to say it's available to watch either through Fight TV.
I think it's Fight.
Or,
yeah.
It's Fight or Bleacher Report, one of the two. So
Pretty sure it's Fight, but yeah.
Yeah, quick little Google search and you'll be able to find that out as well too. Now, let's see. That takes care of Ring of Honor. Let's get into NXT, guys. Yeah, because WWE is really stacking the weekend, and when you normally for WrestleMania weekend might have a NXT show on the Friday, especially when you have a 2-night WrestleMania, they're throwing this one right smack dab in the middle of Saturday. And kind of the biggest news out of this one from what we saw is that Roxanne Perez has been cleared to wrestle and is going to be a part of a ladder match. So, but this actually looks like a pretty stacked card, and I feel like some of the results are going to depend on who potentially will be getting called up after WrestleMania weekend.
And that always plays into it, yeah.
Yeah. So, now we can kind of go through and make some predictions on this, unless you want to make predictions on title matches, but
I won't lie. I don't follow NXT on a week-to-week basis, or I don't watch the whole show. I keep up with the main storylines. I know Chase University has been fun, and Schism has been interesting. because you do have Ava Raine, who is, The Rock's legitimate daughter in there, and I think this is her actual match debut.
Yes.
I think so far she's just been kind of doing the character stuff and like in the group with them, and doing pretty well from what I've heard. Andre Chase, when NXT 2.0 started, he was kind of doing that college, like running the school thing, and people thought it was kind of funny, but like he's been pretty consistent with it. So this one should be pretty interesting. I like people talking about how they had a contract signing for the unsanctioned match between Gargano and Waller.
Okay.
So were they signing the insurance forms to or the liability waivers?
That's the only reason that makes sense. Yeah, like you were not the hold harmless thing as they call it. For WWE won't be whatever's going to happen.
But it's Gargano at an NXT PLE pay-per-view, so that's going to go. And Waller's been really impressive. He's gotten a lot better with his character and stuff. He's really improved.
Yeah.
You want to go championships? Let's start there.
Yeah, it'd be a good place to start. NXT North American Championship. Wesley's defending against Dragon Lee, JD McConnell, Ilja Dragunov, and Axiom. I think Tommy might have been working here through his phone. So we got a phone work here. Tommy, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay. This is the only
Can
thing I
you
can
hear
think
us?
of to make it work. Yes.
All right. Cool. Yeah, we got
Okay,
you.
it might be delayed.
That's all good.
Not too bad.
Yeah. We'll make it work. We're happy you're on here because it is WrestleMania weekend after all. So,
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen.
And boo to all the stuff about Okada, yay to everything else Ring of Honor related.
I wasn't
I'm kidding.
bad-mouthing.
I'm kidding.
I just, could he job once to Cobb? Would it kill him?
It probably wouldn't kill him, but it might kill New Japan's bottom line. So.
Do it in America. Do it on a underground show at midnight that you
Yeah.
get into for free.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now that I'm on here, for the record, people watching at home, I didn't get in last year for free. That was like 6 years ago, and I got it for free twice.
That's not to say he didn't try, though. That's the point.
I did. I bought a ticket weeks in advance.
Just
Don't
kidding.
even try that.
I think that one security guard was out on the COVID leave that night.
My
Oh,
bad.
wait, no. You know what I almost said? I said I don't know anyone who works for Ring of Honor anymore, but no, since AEW bought them, that means the same guys are working for them again. Damn it, I probably could have got it for free. Holy shit, I didn't even think of that.
Well, he might try it this time. So, all right. Well, we'll go on and make some. We'll make some predictions here around Stand and Deliver with the NXT North American Championship. Wesley defending against Dragon Lee, JD McConnell, Ilja Dragunov, and Axiom. It is a fatal 5-way match here. Mike, where do you feel like you're going with this one?
I mean, there's some really good talent in here.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like maybe since you kind of brought him in and he's your new guy, I'm gonna go with Dragon Lee just to shake things up. He's their new signing. He just came in. Might be interesting to throw the title on him right off the bat and see where it goes.
Okay.
But this is like all these guys super talented. It's going to be lots of good spots and action. So this should be a fun one.
All right, Tommy.
Dragon Lee all day. He was my pick when I saw this
Interesting.
match. I refuse to pick against Dragon Lee in any match that I know he's in, unless I know for sure. Like, I have to know he's going to lose. So
Dragon Lee versus Okada.
Okada. I said no, he's going to lose. So
Okay. Fair enough. You did state that. That's true.
Oh my god! I like how you just off the top did that. I could see Dragon Lee getting the finisher, and then I could see JD McConnell throwing his ass out of the ring and stealing the pin. So I got JD McConnell doing something like that, setting up actually a feud I want to see in NXT. I'll be honest with you, Dragon Lee, JD McConnell.
Yeah,
So
I mean, honestly, who wouldn't really want to see that? So I got it.
yeah,
So.
You're choosing JD McDonough. Google me.
yep, exactly. That's the one I'm talking. Yeah. So
Sorry. After he said that,
Kevin
I'll
almost
never know.
destroyed him
Yeah.
with that. He destroyed him with that promo. Oh my god!
Yeah, he did.
I was about
So
to
he
say
does that to a
recovered
few-
from that.
Well, no one Googled him, so they didn't. No.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
All right, NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Fallon Henley and Kiana James versus defending against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Tommy, where you going with this one?
I'll go Fire and Dawn because honestly, I didn't even know who the NXT Tag Team Women's Tag Champions were anymore.
Well, you hardly ever
but
see
I'll
him.
go
That's the
with Fire and
thing.
Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
I feel
whoa.
like they've held
Go ahead.
what?
so
No, and I feel like Alpha Fire, they haven't given her much to do since she came in like a house of fire, no pun intended. But then they just like kind of did nothing with her, and I thought Vince wasn't in charge of creative anymore.
That's a whole other story that's been circulating the past few days. But I was just going to say, it sounds like you're accusing WWE of poorly using their women's tag team champions, and I don't know what proof you have of that from any time that they've had the championships for the last couple of years.
Let me stop you right there. If you got that impression from what I said, I apologize. I would never in my life accuse WWE of mishandling any champions of any kind. Never.
I would not imply. I would state it bluntly.
Yes. If I implied it, you were mistaken, good sir. I meant to say it outright. Anyway.
that being said, I'm just gonna stay Henley and James. It's gonna stay with the current champions is the way I feel about that one. Mike,
don't even know.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go with Tommy, and I know a little bit about the storyline, and I will have to give credit to my other favorite podcast. I always give credit to Cultaholic from England. They're invested in NXT a bunch, and apparently Henley and James are having some falling out because they're also dating like the other tag team. Is it the
Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen?
There you go. I think they're like dating or something. And one of them, I don't remember which one, is supposedly getting messages from another dude, and like the other one won't tell. Like there's a whole like drama storyline going on. So I think they're gonna have a fallout. So I'm
reality TV, got it.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
okay.
Pretty much, or young adult TV show. So something from the CW.
It's true.
Young adult anime. I just got through watching a really good one. So
there you go, Dawn and Fire. That's me.
All right, the NXT Tag Team Championship, Gallus defending against the Creed Brothers and the D'Angelo family. Triple threat tag team match for those titles. I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to stay on Gallus. I think this is going to be a matter of the Creed Brothers and D'Angelo family just constantly fighting against each other, and Gallus is going to just walk out of this one. So, Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I don't have a three-sided coin. But yeah, like this is kind of a tough one because I feel like it can legitimately make a valid reason for each of them. But just to keep the pick close, I'm going to go with you and stick with Gallus.
All right, Tommy.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Gallus. I don't think they're going to
it. All right, the NXT Women's Championship is going to be defended in a ladder match. Roxanne Perez against Zoe Stark, Gigi Dolan, Tiffany Stratton, Lyra Valkyria, and Indy Hartwell. Mike, you said on the Women Award singing the praises of Indy Hartwell. I'm curious to know if you have her winning here, or if you're thinking this is like she's going to have a showing and then maybe get moved up.
Okay, let me just go ahead and say, if Tina's listening or watching, please do not get mad at this. But I am going to go out on that limb, as you called out. I'm going to go Indy Hartwell. Because honestly, it is shit or get off the pot time with her in NXT. Either you put the title on her or you send her up. And I'm good either way, to be honest. I think she deserves an NXT run with the belt. Roxanne is young, and I don't know if there was legit stuff or not with this little storyline they did. And I wouldn't be surprised either if she kept it. But I would like to see it on Indy, because if not, then throw her up to the main roster after WrestleMania. Everyone else in the way is up there right now. Let her reunite with Dexter and Gargano and Candice. Just put her on the main roster. So I'm going to go with her because it's either that or she goes main roster. So,
all right, Tommy, what about you?
I'm thinking it might stay on Roxanne Perez. I don't know. I mean, that's just how I'm feeling, but I won't be surprised if I'm wrong. They just got a lot of people in this one, so that's just what I'm feeling.
Okay. I gotta share my screen here a second because there's a tweet that Roxanne put out, and she also put this on her Instagram, and I thought this was pretty curious. Pretty cool image too, by the way. I don't know if you guys have seen this one, but it's I'm sure this was fan art of her looking at her younger self saying, "You're gonna go far, kid." I wonder if she's gotten the news that it's her time to move up main roster time. You know, she's been kind of, for lack of a better term, like really hotshotted her way up the NXT ranks. The championship, of course, was put on her with the whole Mandy Rose thing. Not to say she hasn't earned it, she has, and the storyline is interesting for her to get cleared for this match. So I'm curious to know if they're going to kind of work that injury angle in somehow in the ladder match, and she's going to drop it and then potentially just reappear on WWE TV. So now as far as who's going to win the title, I guess I'll have to go with Indy Hartwell because no one else there maybe stands up. Maybe Gigi Dolan. And the only reason I would say Gigi Dolan wins it means that they're planning to move Indy up as well. She's long overdue to be put up there again with her husband, kayfabe husband, right? So we need to definitely see that. So I'm gonna say Indy, but if not Indy, I could definitely see Gigi Dolan winning that one. So
I like it.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What's
no,
up?
never mind. Go. No. She posted another thing that I just thought was kind of funny, but it was the belt in her bed, and she was like, "Good morning from the both of us."
Oh.
I was like, "That's all right."
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that's funny. So, well, at least you're gonna defend it, right? So.
Yeah.
All right, and finally the NXT Championship: Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. And this one is one where you want to pick, like, talk about somebody we've been talking about, it seems almost for years now, since the NXT 2.0 days. This is the guy that's going to be on the main roster, yet he's still champion. Is this the time he finally drops the title? Tommy, your thoughts?
I think it is.
Okay.
I think Carmelo Hayes is going to win this one, and I just feel like Carmelo's been getting that push lately. So now, does Braun get called up? I'm hard pressed to say, but I think for sure he's going to lose to Carmelo at this.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's time. He got that rocket strapped to his back. He did really well for 2.0, transitioned over. Again, I think it's a title reign that's kind of run its course at this point. I don't think he has a lot more to do with it. And kind of like Tommy said, Carmelo's getting a good push. He's a great wrestler. I think he deserves a run with the title. And I do think Breaker gets brought up. Even if it's not on the immediate Raw after, like if it's not the next day, because that can also be packed, I do see him within the next couple of weeks showing up on the main roster.
Do you guys think there's an outside chance he wins and still gets called up and then just vacates the title?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
I wanted to, but that could happen.
I think just like anything, you have to pick and choose how often you do that. Because they've done that with a few people, both men and women. It's not like they've done it a lot, but I guess it depends on if they think he's that level that like it makes him look better to have never lost it. So I guess they kind of do, but.
Well, I mean, you look at NXT's history, I think there's only two that have done that. It's been Paige and Asuka. We're the only two that
Kevin
got
Owens?
Kevin Owens did it too.
But I thought he just ended up dropping the title right, instead of vacating it.
I think he ended up losing it in a ladder match, or didn't he? He lost it in a match, I thought.
But that's the thing, he lost it. He didn't just
But
necessarily
you're saying
vacate
called
it.
up and they vacated it.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm saying call up and vacate, like they never get pinned for it, so to speak, And that only really happened with Paige and Asuka.
Okay, you're right then.
Yeah, that seems to be.
But...
Yeah. As far as, I mean, sure, he might show up and then drop the title later. But I almost feel like with him, they might make the exception. With what, at least I've been saying I think is going to happen at WrestleMania, they might be looking for a prime guy to come in and be like that next star. I'm foreshadowing ahead of what I'm going to predict for night 2 of WrestleMania. But I don't know. I just feel like there's a potential that they give this guy, after such a long title reign, that honor. It's something Triple H does, you know? When you think about it.
You're right. I have a question though.
What?
Do you think Vince knows that that's actually Rick's son and not Scott's son?
I don't know.
Because I
He
don't
just
think he
thinks-
does.
I don't think he does.
And
No.
again, we skirt around those rumors that he's getting more involved again in the creative.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think he knows which Steiner he belongs to.
I just no. I mean, he might just give him a math test to see which one it is. That's the only reason I could see it. So you know, just throw that out
Okay,
there.
real quick. No lie, a friend of mine said he did that to his son recently when explaining some kind of probability of them winning in a game of what's the popular shooter? Fortnite. They're playing
Fortnite.
and
Oh my gosh.
He said, Dad, do you think we could win? And he said he lost to his own version of the Styler promo, and I said, dude, really? He's like,
I
"Goes
love
right
it.
there."
Please tell me there's video of this somewhere so that shit
I
would go
don't know if he
viral.
recorded it because I know, but I believe he did it though because because whenever he puts out those statuses, his wife often gets on and says, "Why did you talk about this on Facebook?"
I love it.
Oh, hilarious. So I'm going to go with Braun Breaker because I almost feel like this is kind of the honor they might bestow. Now, it's not to say he might drop it later, but, you know, I don't know. It's just as he's held it for so long, I feel like he's going to be that guy that's going to go up and then just maybe start wrecking as well. So I've got Braun. Yeah, very much so. All right. So NXT Stand and Deliver. I almost said NXT Takeover because it's been a while, right? So,
Yeah.
is actually Saturday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. It's going to start at 12 p.m. Central Time, noon Central Time, middle of the day on Peacock. It's going to be taking place in the Crypto.com Arena, formerly known as the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. So if you're in the LA area, go attend Stand Deliver, then get your ass over to Inglewood for WrestleMania if you got tickets for that. So, yeah, good luck fighting that traffic, by the way. You might as well take an Uber or something. So,
might as well grab a bike and ride down the streets.
Basically, you'll watch this. Oh, yeah. If you're at home, this is going to be your lunchtime entertainment. Then take a break for a few hours, cook your dinner, barbecue, whatever you plan to do for WrestleMania. And then, boom, right there, you're getting into night one of WrestleMania 39. And we're going to start talking about WrestleMania at this time as well. Before we get into that, guys, your thoughts really on the build-up to this WrestleMania. This always seems to be such a big thing. We've talked in the past about how they promoted it. Is there excitement about it? This is WrestleMania. How has the build-up been this year versus previous years?
They finally got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, obviously the biggest angle has been the best story of the last. Well, the main event, the overall Bloodline story has been the best thing of the last year and a half, 2 years. The Cody part coming in though, done real well. That also connects to the Sammy and KO story, which feeds off the Bloodline story. I think in general, all their big matches have had good builds. Your Damage Control versus Trish, Lita, and Becky, Ray versus Dom. The women's titles have not been the best. Like Rhea's had a good build of her own. The stuff with Charlotte only kind of got decent the last week or so. I really feel like they have not given enough to Bianca and Asuka for that story in general. Mm-hmm. And that's why, as much as everyone was excited for us, well, I mean, we can get into it, but I think their big matches have had pretty good build. So.
Yeah, you mentioned Bianca Asuka. I feel like Austin Theory and John Cena has gotten a bigger build-up than that, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You know, and I'm sorry, I said that and Tommy immediately got pissed. So, Tommy, you want to share your thoughts on that?
I won't say I got pissed, but I will say I got annoyed because I agree. And don't get me wrong, I love the build with the Cena and Theory because I thought, that's pretty fun, and how Cena epically destroyed him was amazing because he took him down a peg or two. But I'm sorry. You have Asuka go full back to her old Joker days. These are the days she was fighting everybody, and when I say everybody, I meant everyone. She had her own shows produced in Japan, and she would fight whoever. She fought Suzuki, I think, at least twice. She was just getting into with everyone. And I know everyone keeps using the excuse of the language barrier, but at the same time, just let them, let her do more than just, have the creepy, mist, come out of her mouth. Let her actually do it more often. I felt they tried to build it up so much that they missed the payoff point. And that was the main problem. There was a payoff point for the build up, and they passed it, and she kept doing the creepy thing. Now, don't get me wrong, still hot, not complaining. But my point is, at some point you got to pull the trigger, But at the same time, though, it's Asuka and Bianca, and I don't mean this in any joking way whatsoever. It could steal both nights. It really could. Like there is no reason whatsoever they can't have a shutdown best match ever type of match. And one more thing about the build you were saying, I've been wanting to say this for a while, and I was waiting till we got to the show to say it. Everyone's saying how this WrestleMania is built up so well, and I know we've been kind of critical of AEW's booking lately, up until maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. But my argument is this: it's WWE. This kind of build-up should be happening every year. There should be no reason they can't always do this. Yeah. This should not be the one year we say, "Oh, they finally got it right." No, this should be a yearly thing. Every year should have this good a build-up. It's WWE. There's no reason they can't do that. That's where my frustration with them comes in. It's like when everyone says, "Well, you give AEW," I was like, AEW is 4 years old, maybe. WWE. WrestleMania is their oldest thing by far, but even that wasn't when the company first started. That didn't come until a couple years after Vince took over everything. There's no reason that they should be just now getting storytelling right and having a storyline with a big payoff. This should be happening every single year. We should never ever have to complain about storytelling in WWE.
100% agree with you.
Agreed. Yeah. And I think the biggest selling point on why the build-up has been so good this year, no fast lane. We didn't have some meaningless pay-per-view between Elimination Chamber and Mania. We got straight from Chamber. Now it's the road. Now the actual road to WrestleMania. Now, boom, we're going to spend these weeks getting to this point, and that's what you need. When you throw in an event like Fastlane in there, it just kind of derails everything.
Yeah, and Backlash will just be Backlash. Thank you.
Yes.
God and Santa got my letters.
All right. We'll talk a bit more about Bianca and Asuka, but let's start with the matches on night 1. Yes, we know which matches are night 1, night 2. Yeah, right. So, let's start, though. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. And quite frankly, it's a match deep down. I really don't care who wins or loses because I feel like it doesn't really help or hurt either one of them. Logan Paul's always impressive when he gets in there. Rollins can make a superstar out of anybody, I feel like, when he gets in the ring with them. So,
yes. That being said, Seth Rollins better win.
Okay, go for it.
I don't want to see a Logan Paul victory at WrestleMania. I know he's impressive. I know he's good. I don't care. And, I fear Seth Rollins, and I mean this actually kind of seriously. I fear Seth Rollins falling into that CM Punk role that he eventually complained about of, I put this guy over, I put this guy over, I put this guy over, because I can do it because I'm that damn good. But it's and granted, this is not like he's in a lot of these, but, Logan Paul, his contract supposedly ends after WrestleMania. I'm sure he'll want to sign again, but I don't think he's going to be a long-term, every week type person. I could be wrong.
No, it's my appearances, really. It feels like,
Yeah, but so if he loses and goes, I mean, I know it's Rollins and he could bounce back, but I don't know. I'd rather just Rollins win and Logan do something impressive like he always does, but I don't need him to win.
I'm going with Rollins, too, because as how I think night 2 is going to play out, Rollins needs some victories here. especially if he's going to be trying to make a run to challenge for who I think will be the champion after night 2. And if it's the person who I think it's going to be, he hasn't beaten that guy yet, even when he had a torn pec. So I have to go
When
with
did Roman
Rollins.
Reigns have a torn?
Just kidding. I'm going to go with
JC, Roman Reigns, he had leukemia, but he got better. Thank God. You're thinking of some other dude who had
Wow.
leukemia.
No,
He
had a torn pec, but he got the tattoo to just cover all that up, so you can't really tell. No, I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins to win here. Tommy, what about you?
Seth freaking Rollins, because that dude is having the time of his life. I really do feel like that Seth is like in the point of his career, kind of like where Randy Orton hit a few years back, where now he's just doing stuff because he's finally made it. So because I feel like that's the point Randy Orton hit a while back, and he was just like, okay, I'm sticking around because I like to wrestle. I'm done proving anything, because this whole outfit stuff that he does now and everything, it's just like, dude, you're just having fun. You're married to Becky Lynch. You have an adorable daughter. You're on cloud 99, bro. All you do is win, no matter what. So yeah. So,
yeah, you're not wrong.
Even if he loses to Logan Paul, it's like I say about The Miz. I don't care how often The Miz loses. He goes home to Maurice. Yeah. That dude stays winning.
You mean future first ballot Hall of Famer Miz?
Yeah.
Should be. And look, all kidding aside with that one,
that's not a joke. Yeah, that's not a joke. I mean, that's wholeheartedly.
All the haters who don't like him, get over it. Dude's going in, whether you like it or not.
For sure.
And he's the host, don't forget, this year. So
yeah.
Oh, he is.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he is. I wonder what he's going to do or what's going to happen.
He's going to be the Miz?
I'm sure we're going to see those the Miz and Mrs. cameras following him wherever he is. I'm sure we'll see some backstage months from now when they air this stuff on this next season. Yeah.
Ooh, that'll be cool.
That would be pretty cool. Now, the next match I'm calling the pulling at Mike's heartstrings match. Trish, Lita, and Becky Lynch against Damage Control. I'm gonna let Mike rest a bit and pick last here because I know he's really split on this one. But Tommy, where are you going here?
I gotta go Trish, Lita, and Becky because Trish is on the team, and
okay.
Because look, Mike, look, I know Bayley and Io are on the other team, but Trish was my very first wrestling love. She was number one for like the longest time, and I didn't discover Io Sky until later. So
also that list has grown pretty long. Also, just gonna throw that out there.
I don't deny that. I have never denied that this list is extensive at this point, but I also am honest, and I will always remember Trish as being the number one. First and foremost. So I got to go Trish on this one.
Arm bar, right? You know, that list like Jericho had with the holds he has, yeah.
But not top tier, right?
You know what? Can we go to JC now? Because I already, oh no, I'm having technical issues. What? It's messing up. I have to leave now.
JC, play the liner. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn it.
Don't tell me, I'll do it. I'm gonna go with Damage Control here, and this is mainly related to the fact that Lita and Becky Lynch are the current women's tag team champions, and I think Damage Control could sneak a win here, possibly pin one of those women to kind of work their way into getting a tag team title shot out of this. So I'm gonna go with Damage Control on this one. So that splits this up. So Mike, how you feel on this one? How hard is this one to pick? And how much are you going to be crying in the fetal position?
Here's the funny thing. It actually is not hard for me to pick at all.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. It actually kind of goes back to almost what I said about Rollins for Bayley and Damage Control. Bayley has spent the last 2 years in this company being the best damn heel and putting people over and making them look great. What she did with Bianca Belair, not that Bianca Belair isn't a great wrestler and personality on her own, but what she did as that heel, what she did with the heel stuff with Becky before it kind of got to this. But the point is, she kept losing, she keeps losing, and she's really good at making those people look good. you guys know Lita's my number one all time.
Mm-hmm.
But her and Trish don't need this. They've had their WrestleMania moments. They've been on top. If Damage Control takes an L here, I feel like you've really hurt this faction that has a chance to be, that should be your top heel faction, causing chaos. You know, and let's not forget what they did to Bayley last year after she had spent all that time helping Bianca be great. They couldn't find room for her, and they threw her in with the Bellas and DXNWO. Bayley, like seriously? So, yeah, like I need Damage Control to get a win here. Pin Becky, even because that's even a bigger, a bigger statement to make. Because I think they really need it.
All right. By the way, yes, if you are watching this, please feel free to jump in and make your predictions along with us, whether you watch us live or after the fact as well. Now, father versus son, Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. I really hope to God Rey shows up with a chunkle and uses it to beat Dominic's ass. I would just love that.
Man, listen, when he punched that boy in the face,
yeah.
Dude, you cannot 6 to midnight enough for me because I was like, oh, baby, play it. I was like, oh, baby, play it again. It's like, oh, yeah, that's that good stuff.
I have a weird feeling that what if this is potentially Rey's last match? And how great would it be for him to put his son over going after her?
I know that. I did read one. I think I did see something one time that said that he wanted that to be the case. His last match, he put. Well, no, he faces Dom at WrestleMania. It might be his last match. But a world without Rey Mysterio, it's like a world without Jushin Thunder Liger, man. I don't want to live in that world.
And we know what happened when he retired.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Literally that same year. Liger retired, everything went straight to hell.
Yeah, pretty much.
That being said, I'm picking Dominic on this one. Mike, what about you?
So. No, I was just going to say real quick, Jason, I did see that, and I've heard that rumor. I'm cool with that, too, if that has to help it a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dom. I mean, what point would be to this? If not, he was floundering for so long, and then he just found this gimmick with Judgment Day, and then not only that, the prison Dom stuff has been so damn funny. Like I know, but that's why it's so great, because like it's the corniest thing, but it just works for him. And I also saw this. What if he came out with a lowrider for his entrance?
His biological father, Eddie Guerrero, kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
So, I mean, it is California, it's Inglewood. It's where their home state. I would not be surprised if we see some of that. So, so you're going with Dom. Tommy, what about you?
I have a hard in the head pick on this one.
For real.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go with my heart pick. I'm gonna pick Rey. I don't care. This is one of the cases where if I'm wrong, I'm fine with that. I'm picking Rey only because I want that smug, arrogant little jackass to get what's coming to him. And I know it's kayfabe. I know it's a storyline. I know he's probably not really like this in real life. I'm sure he's an excellent person, but his attitude reminds me of so much of all the freaking jackasses I went to high school with. That's why it gets on my nerves.
Okay.
All the fake ass wannabe homie G thugs who maybe saw a day in county, maybe that one, who acted like they were the hardest thugs. I just want to be like, shut the hell up, you bitch ass motherfucker. Anyway,
Tommy, I know you've mentioned this before.
Changes a man, dude.
I thought you went to like a charter school thing.
Dude, do you know how many homie G thugs were in that charter school?
I don't, but I thought it would have been like the opposite of that, but that's interesting.
No, true story. Just a real quick story. There was a dude who left campus. I was the last person to see him leave, but my teachers, I guess he didn't think we weren't idiots, saw him leave and he got suspended. When he came back, he wanted to fight me, and I just didn't fight him. He pissed off a friend of mine who was about your size, Mike. And no lie, my friend beat the brakes off of him. Like
Nice.
they both got suspended again, but because the other guy started it, my friend came back sooner than he did. It's not, they were just like the other guy started it. It's not his fault that he couldn't fight. So
That also explains your response to Key Vibes and her homies pictures from
well, see, that's
RCW.
different. That's all. That's different. All those girls turned me down, but you know. So.
And that story is why Idea schools have uniforms now. Yeah, so just go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, more or less.
All right, the men's WrestleMania showcase. Let's be honest here. Do you guys even really care about this match?
I mean, we got to go to the bathroom at some point.
Yeah, you know, Braun Strowman team with Ricochet against the Street Profits, against Alpha Academy, against the Viking Raiders.
It's just sad the Street Profits couldn't find something better to do. They couldn't find something better for them to do on 2 nights of WrestleMania.
What do y'all think of this route going with it? Because obviously before it was the whole Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal as a way to get everybody on the card. And now they're going to this men's WrestleMania showcase, and night two's going to have the women's WrestleMania showcase. Do y'all feel this is a better alternative, or do you think the Battle Royal should still be a thing?
I'll say this is slightly better, and I'll give it this. They at least are putting together actual tag teams that have been tagging for at least a little bit. But I would also put the stipulation that they could be number one contenders for the tag titles. That's the only problem, is they were missing something else to make it better, you know?
Yeah, they're not. There's nothing worth fighting for.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. You probably shouldn't call it the showcase, which literally sounds like, let's get you on the WrestleMania card. I agree. I'm going to go Viking Raiders just because I haven't picked them for anything probably in forever. So
they haven't really had them on a card or anything in forever. Yeah, that's true. You know? Yeah. I feel like I need to pick a team that has a name, right? So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Viking Raiders as well. I mean, to be honest with you, they kind of need this thing here. So, Tommy, what about you?
Street Profits. I'm gonna pick
Street Profits. All right.
You know, because they deserve better.
Tommy, where are all those solo cups behind you coming from?
Yeah.
Dude, believe me, if that happened, this room would be filled immediately. I have no.
All right, United States Championship. Austin Theory is defending against John Cena, or John Chana, as Santino Morelli used to always call him, John Chana. Tommy.
In an interview, and he said how he managed to break a lot of people doing that.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
That was great.
Tommy, where you go with this one?
Logically, Austin Theory. So I'll go ahead and pick him. I'll pick Austin Theory, but I gotta think Cena was right the whole time that the crowd after the Raw after Mania is gonna eat that boy alive. Though I really don't know if he's ready. I think Cena might have had a point, man. Like for real.
I personally think he's ready, so I'm gonna go with Austin Theory because you want in LA crowd, people out of town, like, and Austin Theory kind of eating him alive, whatever. I think Theory's ready for it. I think he can have some fun with that crowd and just really piss them off.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't mind being wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. So.
Yeah. And I think if you look at Cena's movie schedule, he's got a lot of stuff to promote. I don't think he's gonna have time. Mike. Yeah, Mike. What about you?
Yeah, so maybe I'm just a little cynical at this point because I saw TikTok. You know, I've seen a lot of wrestling TikToks and stuff pop up over the week, and I see a bunch of them that are like, "What if this is John Cena's last match?" And I was like, I thought he already had his last match, to be honest with you. It's not that sad. What if this is his last WrestleMania?
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, he's doing tons of crap, man. And he hasn't wrestled regularly in, like, 2 years. Like, yeah, it needs to be Austin Theory. Like, I mean, assuming Vince does not have as much influence this time, I think Triple H is smarter to realize, yes, you need some WrestleMania moments, but if you're going to build him, and, you know, when Vince left, they kind of turned Austin Theory's build into a better actual build than what Vince was doing with him at first.
For sure.
But I don't buy the, like, oh, well, you get the rub from losing to him at Mania. No, just put him over and do that. Like, if you're going to build this guy, do it right. and give him the big win that he needs, that he can now put on his resume. Like Jericho never let you forget he beat Austin and Rock in the same night, and he shouldn't. Austin Theory should be able to forever go forward saying I beat Cena at WrestleMania.
He will join the likes of The Miz, who says, I beat John Cena in the main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and constantly boasts about it. Yeah, so. All right, WWE Tag Team Championships. The Usos defending against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, part of arguably one of the best storylines of the last year. And I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go with Owens and Zayn. It makes the most sense here. It's yes, obviously cool. Would have loved to see Sami get added to the world title match, but having these two Canadians teaming up. Longtime best friends, on again, off again, the way storylines have gone, right? This is just a great team to dethrone the Usos with that whole storyline. So Owens and Zayn for me. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, WrestleZania. I loved when they brought out that shirt. That was super cool. Again, so just real quick, if you remember back in AEW to the Hangman Omega storyline, right before that pay-per-view, we just spent like the last couple weeks going, don't get fancy.
Yes.
Just cross the goal line.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what literally this is set up to be. Like, we don't need surprises. We don't need swerves. The Usos have held it for a long time. They've been great. They've been part of the best storyline in wrestling of the last, 5-10 years with the bloodline. Finish the story. It's time for KO and Sami to win those belts and start the not necessarily dismantling, but the leaks in the bloodline starting to come out. And that's where it starts. So yeah, KO and Sami.
All right, and Tommy.
KO and Sami, man. I keep getting Steen and Generico vibes from these two. I don't know why. I'm just saying. I just keep and because of that, now go with me on this. Just because they have that same vibe, I remember how Steen and Generico were, and what a great team they were. So getting that same vibe from Owens and Zayn, I feel like they could have that same magic together. So,
but didn't they also used to fight each other a lot and like throw each other through tables and chairs and ladders and?
Yeah. I mean, you mean Jericho and Steen? Yeah, they did that a lot.
Yeah.
And, so
so now I see why you say they have that vibe. I think you're right.
They have those same similarities. So if Steen and Generico were still wrestling, I would love.
But also, it's kind of weird comparing Canadians to an obvious luchador. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I know, but it's because that Generico and Steen were always tied to each other. I just kind of forget that sometimes. So,
well, hopefully they have Peacock or whatever down at that orphanage in Mexico, or I guess it's still the network in Mexico. I'm not sure. So
I don't know. I don't know what it is there. Yeah.
Hopefully you can watch it down there.
Yeah.
Peacock en español. All right.
See, I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to say that. So,
SmackDown Women's Championship probably is going to be the main event of night one. Charlotte Flair defending against Rhea Ripley. And I'm going to flat out say this, the way they have built this up, does anyone think Charlotte Flair retains the title at this one?
No.
No, why would she?
Again.
That would make literally
cross the goal line, right, Mike? Yeah.
Cross the goal line.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point. There will be absolutely no point to that. That would be so stupid.
All right. Move on to night two, and we're going to start this one with probably the lone match Vince McMahon actually booked. Brock Lesnar versus Osmosis. Mike, what are you thinking of this one?
You know what? F it. Let's keep it going. Osmosis.
Right.
I mean, why not?
Look, here's the way I put it. Impact and New Japan gave us Jeff Cobb versus Moose. In the meantime, WWE has given us Brock Lesnar versus Osmosis.
Look, which
one would you rather watch? I'm just going to throw that out there right now.
Look, let's say Moose and Cobb. I mean, let's say we have guys like Moose and Cobb, but can't actually wrestle that well, and are much more spot fest. Yeah, Osmosis. Like, why not? Let's just do it.
Why not, right?
I don't care if Brock Lesnar leaves either. I'm good with that. So let's go Osmosis.
This probably might be the only time I pick this dude. Yeah, I'll take Osmosis. I just why not? You know, it's like this is a throwaway match. This might be the bathroom break match too of night two. Tom, what about you?
I'll just go with you guys. I don't care. It's
Okay.
It's the match I care the least about the entire weekend. And I don't even know half of the NXT matches anymore. But I care the least about this match the entire time. Because I just there was no purpose to this. None whatsoever.
Oh my God.
They could have dragged out Lesnar and Lashley if they wanted that to happen this badly. There was no point whatsoever to have this match. But okay.
Yeah.
Also, don't start night 2 with this match. I don't want to pee right off the bat.
No, I'm pretty sure. Wow. Depends how much you're pre-gaming for this, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure the women's title will start off night 2, but anyway. Women's WrestleMania Showcase: Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. It better damn sure be Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. That's the only team that makes sense to me. You know?
I'm going to be honest with you. That's the hard pick.
Yeah?
And that's what I'm going to pick officially. Mm-hmm. But I think the WWE head thought is Rousey and Baszler.
Yeah.
I think that's what they want to go with, but I definitely want it to be Liv and Raquel myself.
For sure. And Tom, what about you?
I'm torn between Liv and Raquel and Natalya and Shotzi because all that works for me. And I'll just make it unanimous and go Liv and Raquel.
All right.
Whoa.
What?
Why are they not called Liv and La Vida Loca?
Well, they might if they win and challenge.
I just realized that.
That would have been awesome.
Mike, you better file the trademark before they take it from you. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. So,
Doesn't Ricky Martin have that trademark as it is? So
I mean, yeah, when it comes to music.
But if you file it in a different way, you could get away with it, I think.
Fair enough.
Trademarks are funny.
Very true. Very true. All right. Hell in a Cell, Edge versus Demon Balor. And thank God we finally got the Demon out of this whole Judgment Day thing. But I'm going to go ahead and say I think Balor wins this one, stays undefeated at the as Demon. I think you need a bigger storyline. If the Demon is ever going to lose a match...
Except Joe.
Huh?
What?
What? Did he lose
he's undefeated as the Demon, except Joe.
Did I miss that one?
Joe did beat him.
Oh. Did I forget? Oh, damn.
That's his only loss as the Demon that I remember.
Wow.
Well, no, that's not true. Reigns beat him too, actually, when he fell magically off the turnbuckle. So he hasn't had the best of luck as Demon recently.
Oh, that's true. I try and block those out of my mind. That's probably what it is. Yeah. But
Now, that being said, I agree with you in this case, though.
I think Balor's going to win Demon. Demon and Hell in a Cell, we wanted to see that for a long time. So
plus, I think this is going to be like a weekend for Judgment Day to come out strong afterwards. So,
yeah. And Tommy, what about you?
Actually, I'm going Edge. I can't lie. I feel like that's something else they've been building up to with this. So honestly, I can't lie. I feel like Edge is going to walk away with this one.
Cool. Okay. Intercontinental Championship, Gunther defending against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre, triple threat style here. Looks like Mike's really struggling with this one. Yeah?
The answer is us.
We're winning with this one.
No, he's right, like for real. On paper, this could also easily just run, not steal the show, grab it, get in the car and drag it down the freeway. This could take the show so far. So
I am officially starting a new thing for the show. This match officially gets the Big E stamp of approval. Because if you needed to look up in the dictionary big sweaty men slapping meat, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a picture of this triple threat in the future dictionaries. So, yes.
I would have to agree. Yeah. So.
That being said, I have no idea who to pick.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say Drew McIntyre is gonna win this one. Either way, you have a a European talent winning the Intercontinental title, no matter which way it comes out.
Yeah, so I'm
Right?
gonna
33 and a third % chance.
Yeah, right.
Oh God.
So I got McIntyre. Tommy, what about you?
Actually, I think I have Gunther winning this. I really
Okay.
think that they've been like, especially given. Okay, so that was the other thing. Like when we were there at the Royal Rumble, Gunther lasted so long. Everyone was like, "Actually, we're not gonna be mad if he wins this. This is amazing." So that was the funny part. It was like it was clearly supposed to be Cody, but Gunther's doing so. Everybody, I think people around us were like, "Actually, if Gunther wins, I'm not gonna be mad. This is really cool."
Because he lasted all the way through.
Yeah, he started. He was number 1, I think.
That's
And then
one
he
or
left,
two, right?
He was. Yeah, I think
He was
I
one, I
surpassed
think,
the record.
actually. Yeah. So yeah.
Because I think he made it. I think it was an hour and 11 minutes. The not beating Ray's record that was an hour and 8 minutes. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Gunther. I feel like again, this is going to be a match that hurts. Everybody's gonna walk out in pain, but I think Gunther's gonna end up winning.
All right, and Mike.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tommy on this one too. I'm gonna go with Gunther.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I see them mentioning every now and then his IC title run, and I think they're gonna give him a longer run with that to really hit up the record books.
Okay. All right, the Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair defending it against Asuka. This one, I think, first of all, is going to open the show for night 2. So, one of those, if you're not last, you want to go first. And I think this is going to be that match that does it. So,
Bernsey, just to tie into your song, I think with both of these matches we just talked about and are talking about, they're all going to be black and blue, back and front, all over. Sorry, I was just trying to tie it in as best I could.
Yeah. Jason also agreed with us. The Demon has to win that one, except for Tommy. Of course, Tommy taking edge on that. So, yeah. But yeah, Belair versus Asuka. Tommy, you want to go first here?
Sure, I'll go first.
I can go if you want, if you need time.
Mm-hmm.
No, because my heart is legit split in 2 on this one. So I was never gonna have enough time to pick from this one. Damn it, I'll go Asuka.
Okay.
I feel like given all she's dealt with, this is where they're leading with this. So I'm gonna go Asuka.
Mm-hmm. I'm going with Asuka as well for this. And Mike, a quick update. Moose versus Jeff Cobb is actually happening right now on Multiverse United. Just letting you know.
All right.
So,
I'm done.
All right. Okay, Mike, what about you?
I'm taking Jeff Cobb on. Oh wait, you mean on this one?
No.
So no, I'm going to go with Asuka also. And just to kind of go back, because I know we kind of started talking about this at the beginning, with the less than stellar build. But I sincerely mean like the last match. I think one of the ways they can get this back and Asuka can get back some of her steam is to just beat the crap out of each other. And I think Belair's down for that. She always wants to prove, that she's the EST, both literally and character-wise. And also, like, she's had a great reign, but I feel like they've just stalled with it. I feel like outside of her stuff with Bayley and then Becky, it's been so-so. So I think give it to Asuka, let her run with that character for a bit. Maybe give Bianca a little bit of time off and then a chance to kind of revitalize and come back. But that's my thought. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Asuka.
All right. And finally, the main event, Undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns in that crazy long title reign, defending against Cody Rhodes, the Royal Rumble winner. Gonna stick with what I have been saying for months now, that this is the storyline leading up to. The way they have promoted this, the promos back and forth, the way they have built this up, I see no reason why this is one of those cross the finish lines, right? But this is one where I wouldn't be surprised they pull a swerve. I just, good God, hope not. Give the road something, and it has to be Cody here. You brought him in for this moment, and it makes the most sense for Cody to take the title off Roman Reigns here. So I got Cody Rhodes winning here, and Roman Reigns no longer being champion, at least for the time being, until he wins it back. I don't know, a few weeks, who knows, whatever they do with it. But for me, it's Cody Rhodes. Tommy, what about you? Did you freeze?
Sorry.
Oh, to you.
Right.
Your thoughts.
Your choice to pick. Yeah.
Okay, my choice. Okay, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, I can't wait to see it because I know his entrance is going to be loud as F. Because when they hit that wall, the SoFi Stadium might lose its roof, legitimately. So, yeah, I'm in. Cody Rhodes.
All right, and Mike.
Yeah, and look, I've said it throughout the time since Cody's been back in WWE. I don't trust him since the way he finished AEW, the way his character was going, and I've honestly just been shocked though that the WWE universe has just wholeheartedly taken him on as their next John Cena, if you will. But they have, and he's done it, and there's no reason not to let this be it, like you said. As much as I joke about him, bringing up his dad all the time, it is the perfect finish the story, whatever you want to call it, cross the finish line. It just makes the most sense right now. Cody Rhodes can be for WWE that next guy, that next Cena, their next babyface that takes over. So don't mess it up now. I say go for it. Give him the win.
All right. That is it, guys. We made it through WrestleMania. Holy cow. Previewing both nights of it. Holy crap. So how, when, and all that stuff, when are you going to be able to watch WrestleMania? Here are the details for it right now. Saturday, April 1st is night 1. Sunday, April 2nd, night 2. Both nights, the show time starts at 7 p.m. Central Time on Peacock. Going to be taking place at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Pre-show most likely be starting around 6 o'clock for both nights. I'm sure you can catch it on there as well. Obviously, this is based on Central Time. If you're in LA, good luck trying to get down there. LA traffic is bad enough. Now you got to deal with Mania as well on top of that. But man, it's WrestleMania weekend and something pretty exciting. In the meantime, I believe they did announce the location already for WrestleMania 40, which is going to be in Philadelphia. So
that'd be a nice calm WrestleMania.
Yeah, right. Going to be at, I believe it's still called Lincoln Financial Field, home of the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. And funny, people commenting, oh, whose weird idea is it to have a WrestleMania in the Northeast in April? They did it before at MetLife. Do people forget that sometimes? I mean,
yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, they do. So, Philly for WrestleMania 40. And in the meantime, this is something they've been building up. They've been trying to get it into SoFi since it opened. Pandemic and otherwise have delayed things, but they finally got it up, and it's ready to go, and they've done a remarkable job of building this up, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. So, all right. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about for your 1 minute warning?
No? I think there's enough wrestling for this weekend.
Because and my connection keeps going haywire, so I don't want to risk it. So they made it this long. I don't want to.
All right, cool. Well, that was the quickest countdown we've ever had there as well. All right, well, thank you everybody for watching and commenting and following us along. Just a reminder, so what is on tap for this weekend? Multiverse United is going on right now. That is Impact and New Japan. Get on Fight TV, you can watch it. As we speak, it is Cobb versus Moose. Mike might sacrifice his sleep just to go check that out. Tomorrow night is Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. Could watch it on Fight TV, which I'm not sure, but that is going to be taking place tomorrow night. Saturday during the day, you have NXT Stand and Deliver, noon Central Time on Peacock. And, of course, WrestleMania is Saturday and Sunday evening, both nights, starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time on Peacock as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for our WrestleMania weekend preview. And I'm just looking forward to this, getting to watch it. I'm actually kind of excited. You know, the 2-night thing is pretty cool. And this is something that they started during the pandemic. It is kind of nice to just be able to just kind of chill both nights and watch Mania. So we're finally here. It's Mania. Let's see what the fallout is. Let's see how it goes. And next week, we're going to be recapping the Stand and Deliver WrestleMania, the entire weekend, and then see what's on the horizon, too.
Wait,
for that
before we
as well.
go,
So,
apparently Jeff Cobb won. Yeah.
let's see. I'm refreshing Twitter right now.
Oh, really?
So,
I just saw one that says Jeff Cobb won, Multiverse United.
let's see here. Come on, feeds. Is it turn? Yeah, the match
Big
is
man Kyle
over.
picks up the win after a damn house fight. So
Nice. Yeah, people were commenting saying that the ring is going to have to be like retightened after this match. Just throwing it out there. Yeah.
With Tour of the Islands.
Nice. Dude, I need to see how he pulled that off.
Yeah.
Is there any other way? Yeah. We'll kind of revisit and talk all about that. Just some updates on that. So right now they're getting ready for the Knockouts 4-way, and Mickey James is going to be on commentary for that. So Masha Slamovich, Diana Peraza, Giselle Shaw, and Mayu MC.
Check my Twitter. There's a video of it right now.
Nice. All right.
All right.
So
let's go home.
Thank you for joining us. Over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake. All attitude.
Enjoy WrestleMania. Enjoy WrestleMania. Stay safe out there, everybody.
Adios, Gunther.